Okay, how do you get the wave interference pattern with a single photon?
You don't.
Quote unquote, and seen over here.
All
And
right, so we have a phenomena. So when I'm describing light and its journey, as crudely as that may be perceived by you and my acknowledgement of that crude description, we definitely have it over there, seen over here. Yeah, okay, I acknowledge that. Now, if you put a slit in between, you can get it to diffract. That's a phenomena that we can observe in nature. Now, given that we
wave
can
interference
observe
pattern.
and getting rumpused, he's declared that this
Wave
isn't
interference
science
pattern?
and not an experiment. I'm taking that apart right now. It's okay. Just chill. Okay. Do you deny?
The argon pump laser fires entangled quanta. That's how they can be split.
Hold on a second. Before we get to entangled quanta, we're not on to the delayed choice yet, Paul. You're getting way ahead of the game. I appreciate that that's where we may end up. Okay, let's start with the basics. Light's coming from the lighthouse and coming over here. If you put a slit in between, you can get that light to have interference, aka diffraction. That's a natural phenomenon. If there's a tree between you and that lighthouse and there's a small enough slit in between the leaves, you can see the light diffract. That's natural. It occurs naturally. Do you not accept that as a natural phenomena? You said this wasn't science.
I don't accept that a single photon could go in two locations simultaneously. That debunks the photon. So what's the point?
That's not part of the double slit experiment. You've obviously got a misapprehension about what's going on in the double slit. That's not what's occurring.
You shoot a light at a double slit. They claim that a single photon enters two slits simultaneously, collides with
No,
itself.
that's wrong.
Yeah.
You don't understand the double slit, Witsit. Sorry, how high is your IQ? You think that the claim of the double slit
High
is...
enough.
Go ahead.
High enough.
Okay. So your understanding of the double slit, misapprehension of the double slit, is that you fire a photon of light and it simultaneously goes through both.
I'm asking you. I don't believe in photons.
No, it doesn't.
I'm not retarded.
No, that's incorrect. You don't know which path the light goes through.
Hey, how do you get the wave interference pattern with a single photon?
You don't.
We don't.
No.
Okay, well, the quote-unquote particle that hits the sheet, it creates a wave interference pattern.
What, one? So what's the wave function of a single impact on a sensor? Witsit, you give me the probability of where the next one will hit based on one impact.
That's all this is a probability.
Sorry, you asked me where the wave
function.
was. I said you can't get one. You brush past you brush past that humiliating defeat pretty quickly. Do you want to acknowledge that? No, you can't get a wave function from a single photon hitting a photographic plate or sensor. You can't do that, Witsit. So given that you didn't really acknowledge and brush past pretty quickly the fact that there is no wave with a single impact detection, can you tell me where the wave, that light that impacted the plate, had a wave to go through, given that there's no wave to be derived with a single impact, as I said to you? Maybe you didn't hear me say it twice. You brushed past it pretty quickly.
You're under the impression that a single impact happens.
You can't derive waves from a single impact. So
that doesn't happen.
Wave, Witsit, did that single quantized chunk go through, given that there's no wave function to derive with a single impact? Go.
How's a single impact? You actually think there's just one at a time? Is that what you think happens?
Yes, there's a demonstration in the info box below this video. An argon pump laser firing a quantized chunk of light at a photographic sensor. Yeah, it's been below every single video for the last 1,000 shows, actually, Witsit. So, yes, absolutely, there's a demonstration available to everybody who watches every show ever. Surprisingly, your embarrassing defeat that you're about to rumpus is indeed the fact that you cannot derive a wave from a single impact. The thing you brush past pretty quickly. Where's the wave?
It's admitted.
Do you want to just tell me where the wave is? Because your ether depends on it for the single
Waves
quantized.
are not things.
Do you want to just tell me where the wave is? Your ether belief depends on waves and light needing them. So with this single quantized chunk impact, tell me where that wave is, please.
There isn't a single photon that is a...
There's a demonstration below every single video for the last 1,000 shows. You can see a single quantized chunk, a photon, hitting a photographic plate, aka sensor. It's demonstrated, linked below. 1,000 shows have had it. So, no, yeah, that is actually the case. You can show a single quantized chunk. Quanta, that's what quantum mechanics is based on. But that quantized chunk being demonstrated to hit a photographic plate and showing a single impact doesn't have enough information to derive a wave from. That's about the 5th time I've said it. So given that your ether belief depends on wave as he interrupts and Fundy mutes this question again, where's your wave that the light must travel through when a single quantized chunk hits the photographic plate? Whitsit, 6th time I've asked.
Okay. So you don't actually shoot a single photon just because you keep saying...
1,000 shows have had this link below, and it's the basis of quantum. It's quantized chunks of light, single chunk, single piece of light hitting a photographic plate. Yes, you can. It's been linked below 1,000 shows. Don't start your next response with "that's not possible." Yes, it absolutely is.
Admittedly, you just get the probability to be so low you think...
Where'd you get the probability if there's only one impact?
Oh my God.
Where'd you get the probability if there's only one impact? Probability
Are you freaking out?
Sorry, probability is more than one piece of information needs to derive probability. Where will it hit next? Well, if it's only hit once, where'd you get the probability, Whitsit?
Listen carefully. You don't actually isolate a single chunk at a time.
Yes, you do. It's in a video demonstrated in 1,000 shows, linked below. Got Morgan Freeman being demonstrated how an argon pump laser can fire a single quantized chunk, the basis of all quantum mechanics, at a photographic plate to show one single photon impact. Yes, it can, 7th time. Given that you can absolutely, without question, show a single quantized chunk hitting a photographic plate, I'd like you, who can't even acknowledge this can even be done, to explain where you get a wave from, given that a wave function is the probability of where the next impact will take place. Now, with one impact...
Do not let me explain it.
It's because you keep starting by telling me that that's not possible. You can't have one single impact. You can't have quanta. The whole basis of quantum mechanics is wrong according to your first statement. I'm going to stop you.
Quantum mechanics is beyond retarded. So you just...
Oh, is it really?
Okay, there you go.
Oh, right. What's a semiconductor?
You won't even let me...
What's a semiconductor?
Tell me what a semiconductor is, Oakley, since you know so much.
Why is it that I ask you a question about something you've just declared to be nonsense, and you immediately flip it back onto me, Whitsit? We're not anywhere near talking about his belief in a medium for the light to traverse as a wave. And I explained on this show how wave function, the probability distribution of the impacts of quanta, were used to give you wavelength, the description of all of the lights, based on their diffraction patterns. Now, those diffraction patterns can be built up with one impact at a time. You can do that. It's linked below and has been for 1,000 shows. Meanwhile, Whitsit isn't telling my audience where his wave is involved when you fire basically just a bit of light. A photographic plate. All that's happening is a photographic plate is seeing a bit of light come out of a machine. That's all that's happening. And he's saying, that can't happen. Yeah, it can. You can have a single impact on a photographic plate. Definitely can. And you can continually fire quantized chunks of light through a slit and build up the diffraction pattern one impact at a time. But when you've only got the first impact, there is no wave function to derive a wave for you to reify it into a medium.
Okay. How does a photographic plate detect the photon, Oakley?
So you're asking me how photographs work? You're telling me that you don't appreciate that a photographic plate can have an iris open and let light onto it?
You don't even know how it works.
So you're telling me I don't know how it works? I know that photos exist and that light is captured by an emulsion or a sensor for us to later look at. And in this case, we have a single dot. That would be a quantized chunk of light hitting what is essentially just a photographic plate. That's all it is. But you're going to question the very validity of whether or not photographs can take place?
Wait, you think it's taking a picture?
Yeah, that is precisely what it's doing. It's a photographic sensor, you bonehead. My God, you're as ignorant as they get when it comes to this. You literally don't know what they're doing. Yes, Witsit, they're taking a photo. Did the word photographic plate not give the fucking game away? Photographic plate, you shit for brains moron. My God, you are an embarrassment to me, you stupid little boy.
Okay, so they don't actually...
Okay, that means sit down and shut up, you stupid little idiot.
Yeah, everyone can tell you're...
Yeah, shut up. Your time here talking to us like you've got something to say is over, Dumbo. Shut up, sit down, and know just how ignorant you are. You're asking whether or not photos can happen, you moron. My God, we're surrounded by complete retards in Flat Earth. Some days, as much as I have to say I've got a great community, because you guys are ace. I hate to say it. You are, you're amazing. You support me so much. But with that comes the grind of annoying nonsense from complete idiots who literally want to deny that you can take a bloody photograph and question the validity of photography when we're talking about a photographic plate. I mean, it beggars belief. What have I got myself into? No wonder people don't want to be flat earthers.
Nathan, nobody understands a double slit as good as Witsit.
Oh, Neil's going to tout victory as Oakley Fundy...
Did you not understand? Sit down, you stupid, ignorant little boy. What part of that didn't you understand, boy? Sit down and understand how irritatingly ignorant you are, Witsit. Shut your stupid mouth.
Stop self-projecting, dude.
When somebody asks me if a photographic plate is a photograph, that is the point that I lose my temper with them because of their absolute glaring ignorance and stupidity, Witsit. Now sit down and shut up.